Welcome back. Now let's talk about population growth. As of January 1st, 2016, the population of Nigeria was estimated to be around 184,635,279 people. And this is an increase of about 2.67%. That's around 4.7 million more people, between 2015 and 2016 January. And so all of these figures, what does it bring together? What does it tell us? And these figures are actually from the Population Division of the United Nations Department of Economics and Social Affairs. So how does this figure help us? Is it a blessing? Is it a burden?
It could be either of the two.
Okay, so we have people in-house who are going to tell us all about this, and we have the Commissioner, National Population Commission, Abimbola Salu Hundeng. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning. And of course, the research analyst, Sulaiman Arigbabu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to have you here. So I started with the question, is our population a burden or a blessing?
Good morning once again. Like he did say, it could be both ways. It could be a blessing if well managed. And what I mean by that is, this population, I must also let you know that it's just an estimate. That's not the population from National Population Commission. We can't tell you the population of Nigeria as at today until there is a census. And the last time we had one was in 2006. So until then, these are just estimates. But then let's work with it for the purposes of our discussions today. We also discovered, or the data, there's also data that says that the youth population in Nigeria is very high. And that's the advantage we have if we use it well. When you have a high number of youth, we all know that youth represents strength. It represents energy. That's when we can take advantage of what we call demographic dividend. Demographic dividend is when you have the population working class more than those who do not work. Unfortunately, we all know that our demographic dividend, we cannot benefit from it now because our youth are not truly working. Most of them are unemployed. So this is the disadvantage of it. The advantage is, though we are large, we have a youth population that, if we engage properly, would have been a great advantage to the nation. That is it.
Okay, Mr. Arigbabu.
Yes, I also concur that it could be a blessing more. And of course, if not well managed, we are seeing the impact of not well managing. Because when we're looking at population issues, we are looking at the economic angle, we are looking at environment, we are looking at how we manage our resources in a way that gives benefit to the highest number of people. So in Africa and of course in Nigeria, we have a high youth population, about 60%. But that could be a disadvantage if you don't give them the right skills and help them to make the right choices. So part of why you have a lot of conflict across Africa is because there are so many disenchanted young persons, people without skills, people who have not been given proper chance to be part of society. So when you have that kind of situation, you could say that your population is really not a blessing. But for us in Africa, and that's why the world is looking towards Africa, we have the potential to lead global economy because we have potential workforce. But they will mean nothing to us. They will keep rushing to go to Europe and other parts of the world unless we plan development around them, unless we equip them with the right skills, help them to make the right life choices, help them to feel part of society, help them to see that the nation and the future of the nation rests on their shoulders. So when they have this sense of responsibility and you equip them with what it takes to deliver, then we can take due advantage of our population. Okay. But for Nigeria, yes, our population should be a blessing.
That thing about potential, the potentials we have, makes me ask the question, how is it that we're not able to tap into our population potential? If we can go back, let's work with the 2006, I don't know if you want to give us a figure, the figure as at 2006 during that
140 we said.
about 140. Okay,
That's 10
so
years ago.
let's work with that. And the notion out there is that the youth population, I don't need this slide right now, that the youth population is about 50 to 60% of the entire population of 140.
That's still an estimate. As of 2006, it was 45.
As at 2000, it was 45%.
Which is still very high.
Okay, so with that amount of youth population, how is it that we've not been able to tap into it? Is it a question of planning?
Of course. You see, because what we keep saying at the National Population Commission is we are a data generation organization. No nation, and I repeat without apologies, can succeed without making use of data. Because it is the data that tells the government where to invest in, what to invest in. And then because people also are conscious of data and we're able to give you data, they would also be able to hold the government accountable. I'll give you an example. If the government, we do birth registration and it's free of charge. Assuming we say to the government that in Lagos State, I'm using Lagos State because we're here, only 10 children were born in January or in 2000. We'll be able to tell the government that if we had 10 children born in 2000, by 2005, you should have schools that could take in 10 children. In another 6 years, you should know that you would have schools that could take in another number of, they would have increased maybe another 9, 10, 12. We'll be able to give you data. And then you could then have tertiary institutions for them in another 6 years. And after 5, 6 years of tertiary institution, we'll be able to tell you that, look, based on our data, there should be injustice, there should be gainful employment. For this number of people, these ones were in the arts, these ones were in the humanities, we have these in the sciences.
This figures you're talking about now brings to my mind another question, but we'll take that question after the short break. Just stay with us on Sunrise.